this product or brand or whatever it is distributed by my classmates, who is a pharmacist. And he told me that other thing that I showed you before, he had placed in a newspaper because he does a lot of ads. Yes? And he said there was not a single response. Not. And then one of their staff said, look, sir, why are you still stuck with doing advertising in newspapers? My friends, those are the discussions going around in those places where adverts are given. That's the kind of discussion. So one of the staff said, sir, let us invite Macaroni to do a skit. You can guess what happened. He said the moment they put the skit online, they could not stop their phones ringing. It's my friend. So, and he had told me before. So when this assignment came, I remembered. And in fact, it was his voice that we were hearing behind us. There was a mix-up in the... So the discussions going on in the boardrooms are, how do we maximize our spend? How do we maximize our spend? That kind of discussion was also going on in the past when they started doing what they call brand activation. They would do events. That is why we were not getting adverts. They were doing brand activation. They would rather gather people and say, come and sample this thing. Go and use it. So that is the competition we are dealing with. Yesterday, Uncle Sam was talking about the industry that is dead. And I'm standing here today, I agree, I know. And I'm going to, as we go along, my plea is that let's put that aside for a bit. Let's put that aggro aside. Let's put that complaint aside. And let's begin to see how we can get out of the mess we are in. This thing was started because the original sin that we committed was that we started putting our news online free. That was the original news, apart from the newsprint, Wahala, and all of that, which has its own, that's not why I'm here. The original sin we committed was that we started putting our news online free of charge. So please take note of those then and now. When our brother here, you will see it. That's Mr. Kokola. By the way, I have samples of the thing, and I brought some. You'll see me later. Let me also warn you that it doesn't work for engines that have been knocked. So don't worry yourself if your engine is knocked. The reason I'm doing that is not that I'm pointing at any part of this row. It doesn't work for knocked engines. It works for the engines that are fairly, but serviceable engines. I have about 4, but I won't sell the 4 to somebody. It's just a little. I will give you all the details. You can call I'm sure they have distribution in Bayelsa, just in case anybody wants to test it. But my friend said the phones kept. Now he has also introduced a new one. And come to think of it, that my friend is an assistant general overseer, but he doesn't want homes to break, Now, you will see somebody here. I'm sure it is because it works. Yes, that is why he also was
of social media. And how are they using the social media? Are they really using it?
Sorry. That thing is, I don't know how to knock it out. Yeah, but you see, you know this fellow. For about 5 months before that book came out, I mean, each time I go on LinkedIn or somewhere, it's on his stunts. Why is he doing that? Because he knows the power of video. He knows the power,
It's out now on pre-order. Writing for media and monetizing it. Public presentation is on the 26th of June. Get your copy. Fast.
Some fantastic work that he did, to promote the book at different stations. I use LinkedIn a lot, so I saw a lot of this. So, and this is from YouTube. Yes? And it's because this thing works. It is working. If you hear me talk about work in this place, it is because this is what this is about. Whatever is working for you, whatever can work, let's do it. Let's do it. If that's all you are going to take away from this, just take it away. I need to quickly move. You have the stuff on your, so that's enough. Sorry. So I asked him, we were at the airport 2 days ago. Yes, Azu? And I asked him, how did it work for you? That is his answer. And he also sent me some analytics. It worked for him. It is working for so many brands. That is why they are not looking at our side. And that is the truth. It's either we are accepting that truth right now, or we are just deceiving ourselves and keep staying in a castle. Yes? Now, I don't know how many of you know about the Reuters Institute of Journalism Digital News Report. The 2024 one has come out, and this is what it says. It says the Nigerian media landscape features a blend of traditional and digital platforms with over 80 locally owned digital news outlets or startups. Challenges include dwindling advertising revenues, greater regulatory scrutiny, National Broadcasting Commission and all of that, and threats to press freedom. Social media are widely used. I want to repeat that. Social media are widely used for news, but misinformation, threats to press freedom, misinformation and hate speech present integrity concerns. Traditional media such as television and print have been losing reach and influence. We have been losing reach and influence. We have been losing reach and influence. We are no longer the gatekeepers. We are no longer the monopolists of information. In recent years, as digital and social media plays a bigger role in shaping public discourse, but in recent years, many Nigerians have been turning to online sources driven by the increasing use of smartphones by one of the youngest populations. And I need to repeat that. Youngest populations. We have almost lost them. We have almost lost them. And in this, my presentation, I'm going to talk about a few things that we can do to bring them back. Am I making some sense to you, please? Now, this is the graph. This is the chart from the same publication. It says, there's sources of news. Where do people go to get their news? Online, 91%. including social media. Online, 91%. That is where they are. That is the truth of our situation that has been studied among those populations that I'm talking about. 18 to 45. And we have lost them. But we can get them because others are getting them. What do we need to do to get them? We will see how we can. Yesterday, by the time I was supposed to do this yesterday, this was not there. I did all of the tweaking by this morning. I took this away from what he said. We must dominate. So what has happened is that we left because either we are afraid of technology, or we are afraid of change, or we are afraid of doing new things. We left the social media for them. It is their own. We left Linda Ikeji to Rome. It took 5 years for that young lady. I know her. I have studied her. It took her 5 years of consistent work to get to where he is, to where she is. I've studied her. I've done all the studies. She came to meet me when she was a model and doing magazine. She's just there now. She's at that place now. I can't even call her. We who are trained, we are the ones who have the training, the capacity. We are the ones who know the difference between news and whatever else. We must take it back. If I'm sounding like Showore, it is because it is important. Every word that I want to say here, I think is important. We must dominate. He said it casually in response to Uncle Sam. We are the owners of information. Some of us went to school. Some of us trained on the job. We know it. We know the 5 W's and H. We know it. But we left it and said, okay, we don't want to touch it. Now, we are suffering for that. I don't want to begin to ask how many, that was why Azu, when I saw what he was doing with his promotion, I said, wait a minute, how many people would do this? It was consistent. Each time as soon as I open, the man is there, grabbing something from the air. We must dominate the social media. We must dominate the world. If you look at your dictionary, dominate means, take control, full control, absolute control. We have to fish where the fish are. The fishes have moved. They have moved from Ekpe water to wherever else. But we are not there. We are not the ones holding the hook. We need to fish where the fishes are. Otherwise, we will catch no fish. We will be eating whatever else. Do you know where your audiences are? We are not doing much of that. I'm sorry if I'm sounding like I know what you are doing, but I have interacted with quite a few people, and I ask this question: do you know where? Just like Frank Odize would ask, do you know where your children are? It's 9 o'clock. Do you know where your audiences are? Do you know their preferences? How do we convert them to loyal followers and cheerleaders for the long haul? That is one of the reasons why I think this is important. Where are they? Which waters are they fishing? Yes? The New York Times declared 2018 the year of living better after they discovered from consumer insights. They went and began to do surveys, asked the question, what can we give you that will make things better? And the audience said they want self-improvement. I love New York Times. New York Times In fact, this is their another, because of Trump gave the New York Times a bump, and they stuck to it. I don't know if you have seen what Guardian has said, Guardian of UK, they're asking for £1 or $1 because they know that the next 4 years will be tough for the media in America. So they are getting ready. We have to respond. We have to respond to things. So they're asking, the Guardian does not charge, the Guardian UK, they don't do subscription, they do membership. So they're asking, please, we need money because we know that the times ahead will be tough. I'm sure New York Times is doing some strategy because they know Trump will come to a press conference and say, you get out. He did it then. In fact, he has more power to do anything now. He can even say he doesn't want to any press conference. He's got the power. So New York Times did that survey, and they began to do what is called smarter living. How to do this? How to survive in a band A environment. There are so many things. We need to connect with our people right now. Our people are in all sorts of depressive situations. We are not the ones offering them solutions. They need solutions. They need them. We need to get down. How do you survive a band A, whatever? There are so many questions in their head that need answers. We are the ones who are trained. We have experts. If you don't have the experts, get them. Because we need to get our readers or listeners or viewers back. And the only way we can get back is if we connect with our audiences. That is what New York Times does so beautifully, and they are making tons and tons of money. New York Times has a spelling bee, games, cooking, and all of that. They are doing it. There's nothing that says we can't do those things, and even better for our local situation, right? The Continent is a monthly newspaper or magazine that is done by Mail and Guardian in South Africa, and it is done in compatibility with WhatsApp format because they know that WhatsApp is where the audiences are. So they formatted their newspaper so that you don't, COVID taught us that we could do PDFs. But PDF, you have to drag it and drag it back. Now they have formatted this so that you don't have to drag. You just open and it's the same way you have seen that. And the thing that is beautiful about the Continent, in fact, they were asking their followers, should they take adverts? Can you imagine? They were asking, just to show you how they have taken hold of their audience. We are just focused on being where readers are. We are just focused. Our focus is, where are those people? Let's meet them. Let's use what they are using. In the study by Reuters Institute, it is said that Nigeria, the social media platform that Nigerians use now the most is WhatsApp. And they are not going to be bothered about you sending them a PDF that they have to drag. It is not going to work. It is not working. In fact, it could be depressive from what I've done, the study I've done. And I like to do things to try them. So I introduced my story in WhatsApp format. My story is something that I just used to play. I started it just as a play, And I'm getting donation and all of that, membership. People are giving money because I say donate box there. It's not something that I did because I wanted money. But it is bringing money. I've stopped it now because my creative partner who designed this thing, my creative partner of 27 years, died in July. So I just said, okay, let me begin to look at other possibilities. You have to look at possibilities. Otherwise, you will be stuck. Quite a number of our contacts, and some of us here, have opened what we call WhatsApp business. But what do you do with it? The smart ones, those smart people, they put it there so that you can pay them upfront. It is business, a marketplace. So don't just open WhatsApp business because everybody is opening WhatsApp business. How do you get your money upfront? What are you going to be selling to get your money upfront so that when they come, you can say, this is what they do. You know, that's all sort of things. This is drum box or something, you know. At the Abeokuta thing that we did in May, Malam Kabir Yusuf was saying that we've stopped doing entertainments. Why? Lagos weekend that Aremo was doing, those were things that were bringing money to Daily Times, one of those things. Why have we left entertainment? For whom? Why? Please let us begin to think about those things that was working and that can still work. I can see how some of those young people are using, are doing those things. When you get your, I won't go to this, but from what they have sent to you, this is Mark Foster of CNN. He have developed a format. He will just ask a question, why, and then give you about 100 words. That's what he does. And he has over 1 million followers. There are all sorts of things that people are doing that we need to copy and do better and adapt. Because there's money to be made. There's money to be made. A lot of young people, young artists, and so on, they don't need NTA. NTA or whatever requires you to come and pay so that you can air your program. You don't need it because YouTube gives you free. This young man, Enyolua, or something, he did this drama, whatever it is, All of Us. In 2 months, he has 4.6 million views. That is something to die for. It doesn't need to go to Netflix. There are so many free platforms. It is where the people come to that money is made. And in this situation, the platforms are sharing. They are giving, they are saying, okay, let us, one girl put something on the Facebook man came and met Tinubu and talked about monetization. How many of us, I know that they had this program with publishers and something, but they are tweaking it because they don't want to lose the audiences that you have. Yes? So YouTube is there free. I did some work for some organization and I kept begging them, let us align, let us put those things on YouTube. They kept telling me, who goes there? You should go and ask Channels TV. YouTube, Visa on Arrival, which is sponsored by Access Bank. The organizations are looking for content. They are looking for content. So some of those people that we have, they have some of this content. We'll get there to how do we harness the talents that we already have? How do we harness it? One young boy called Kunle Afford started one program, Proverb Challenge. He has now built a studio and is doing it and getting support for old artists. YouTube is free. The first motto of YouTube is broadcast yourself. It's free. But it requires work. That work is what some of us cannot do But we have to work to make money. Diligent work, smart work. Another boy, Masoyibo, they are there. I don't watch anything, I just, when I want to do these things, increase knowledge of this, I go to YouTube. Because those boys are there and their followership are going up. It is based on viewership and subscription that they make their money. A bit of tweaking works. This is city people. My pharmacist friend, one of this picture on the left, that is a daughter's wedding. That guy that told me, that's city people. So city people, every day he runs 12 pages. Out of the 12 pages, about 7 of it, he doesn't print. So he sends photographers to events. They take what Ovation was doing then. He's doing it daily. I called him, how much did you charge? He told me, it's not small money. I gave him a few ideas that he can add what I call print on demand. Print on demand means that some of these people can decide that, okay, all of those things, can you just do a hard copy for us and we print it at the parties? You can do live streaming. Some of us have all sorts of gadgets, live streaming, they are paying. People are still paying to get seen, to get noticed. Why are we not the ones doing it? We just want to be stuck to what we are doing. It's not going to work. We will just be complaining. We will be chasing after. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So whatever you are doing now that needs tweaking, tweak it and see. Just try. That's what Sheye is doing. I called him. He told me. It was when my friend sent this thing to me. I said, wait a minute, that's Sheye, And I called Sheye, to get Sheye to speak to you, have to first send him a text. And then we'll call. Even though, on this day, there were 12 pages, and I think 5 of them were like this. And I calculated it, and I said, in a month, the guy will pay his bills, and if he wants to go to Monaco, he can. And he's just tweaking what he was doing before. He's not printing. This is my president. I consult for innovative media consulting group. He says everything that generates value should generate revenue. It's about value. I'll be rushing, I'll be going so that I don't take too much of your time. Value is the honey for money. It's about value addition. It's about value. Please watch this. This is Emeka Ike Guonu. It's in your, watch it because I need to begin to round up. What he's saying is that it's the same thing about value. They get information from research institutes on agriculture, and then you set up a radio station, and they are given audiences information that they need to survive, and it's making money in return. So what can work? In 2015, a young man called Emeka Azuka Okoye, who was one of those who did, one of the smart boys we have in Nigeria. He was asking the question, what can you do with all the data that is in your news? It is not, you are not just publishing news. News is about what is embedded in it, the data. And you have big data. So you can even convert the news that you are getting, because it's about data. What are you going to be doing with it? You can do recommendations, you can do all sorts of things. Insights. Business Day, they have an insights or intelligence department. I've discussed with Frank. Frank, by the way, was my classmate at IMT Enugu. So I know him quite well. And I know what kind of money insight can give you. Insight means that you have extra information to give. People that we are relating with. You can do position paper. You can have a department that is doing position paper, that is doing research. Why, whatever it is data. All the news that we are doing. I was listening to that man yesterday, and in my head I was like, wait a minute, there's a lot that the man is carrying, that requires, you will see it in the whatever. This is the New York Times former chief executive, and is now in CNN. In many media organizations, the answer to the future lies in the past. And the Times, in an earlier difficult economic period like we are in, began to include daily lifestyle sections that were not obviously news journalism, real estate, culture, entertainment. We are doing these things before. We are doing it. We do it. I was telling somebody who said Castle Weekly is not, and I said, if you know what, every page of Castle Weekly is an advert. It was doing it free of charge, but now it is online. We do these things. Niche, right? Food, dining, we started making the case for a bigger proposition. The Times wouldn't just tell you what was going on in the world. You had find your job through the Times. You had figure out what to go and see on Broadway through the Times. Partly because of the complexity of physical distribution, the most logical way of taking all these little products was to bundle them up and sell them as a single newspaper. New York Times is making lots and lots of money from cooking, from games, from all sorts. Think about it, because they are giving something back. Recipes. People want, they sell the cooking section alone. It is something else. It is something else. And we can copy them fully. We can adapt some of these things. This is business, the intelligence. So what can you do? I receive, when I see Happy New Month, and I'm like, wait a minute. There is money that we are not getting in that. What can you do more rewardingly with Happy New Month? There is no month that does not have one international day or world this, that, or that. I have the link in the. So build products, build and programs of value. I did it with 2 newspapers in this country, Leadership and The Nation. It's in that thing. Because I've kept telling people, publishers, that there is money we are not making. So in 2017, I decided that let me just show that it's doable. So I went to Benga, who was the editor of The Nation then. I said, I want to experiment with you. Let us do World Malaria Day, which is constant, April 28th. FNGE was doing malaria for Nigeria Science. So I traveled to Nsukka and to go and meet the winners. And we did a special, special report is different from special report. We did insightful special report. Yes? They made money and I made money. Azu, is it not true? Ask Azu, is the one there. Yes, I made money. That's how I make money. I've left the newsroom I left the newsroom over 20-something years. So the only way I can make money is to think, how do I add value to something? So those are the letters. That's the letter to The Nation. It is in that thing. I've put everything there. It's not, you can do it. It doesn't matter to me any longer. I've done it. And I put it there because I know it is doable. Yes? So Leadership and The Nation, I work with them. They made their money, I made my money. Using International Day. This is a YouTube of, we did a special Children's Day. Abi, 27 May. I'll soon round up. It is also working. Some people are doing foundation. It is working for them. They are getting money. But know the principle behind it. Don't just copy. Know the principle. The principles are different. Cable has a foundation. Business Day has foundation. Business Day is doing some seminar, whatever, on the 14th. their foundation, trust, they are making money from Oyibo people. It is working for them. What is working or what can work? Now, this, I hinted about it. Those young men and women that we call reporters, we don't use them well enough. We just say, okay, reporters. So when we're having management meeting, it is top down. Some of the best work we did at TAIWO, which I was the founding chief executive of, was because we allowed everybody to bring ideas into the pool. Some of those your people have ideas. Turn your newsroom into a creative, war room. Go away from Bayelsa and all the people you are working with, turn them into warriors. Bring the ideas. Let us have a reward scheme. Bring the ideas, 70%, 30%. It can work. Whatever can work, do it. Do it, please. Turn your newsroom into creative innovation hubs and get everyone thinking and creating diverse products with immense potential to earn income. We need money. We have ideas. The ideas are with some of your people, but we don't interact with them. We just want to say, go and cover this. It is not working in today's media world. Of course, they also have access. They get reporting grants to go and do some of the things that, I will soon finish. You see it in your, Lekon is talking to what I just said. And I say when this money starts coming, everybody should benefit. If you are paying peanuts, it is because that prosperity has not, we need to begin to look at possibilities and opportunities that can bring more money to the... Now, after all of this, you have to protect your property. I see a lot of people, they will use your stuff and you overlook it. It doesn't work. Credit is not an automatic replacement for license. When Martin was talking, this is one of the speakers we had in Abeokuta. She works for Mo. Fantastic young IP lawyer. The good news is that they still trust us. It is to us they come when they want to be sure that what they read is either true or false. How are we going to be leveraging that trust for our benefit? I think that is about all, and that is me trying to point the way. Thank you very much. Thank you.